The two types of cheaters are compartmentalizers and monogamy believers. Hey, how are you doing? It is Aditi Chuako, your marriage and relationship coach and affair recovery specialist. In this video, I want to give you two types of cheaters. This is going to be important for the cheater so that they can understand themselves, why they were able to do what they did, why they behaved the way they did during the time of having an affair. But also it's going to be helpful for the person who has been betrayed, because again, it's going to give them insight into why their partners did certain things, why they behaved the way they did, why they chose certain actions. It's going to help you with all of that. So let's get straight into it. The two types of cheaters are compartmentalizers and monogamy believers. Compartmentalizers and monogamy believers. Let's start with the compartmentalizers, and actually it's all in the name with these people. They are basically able to quite easily compartmentalize their two relationships, as in they're in two different sides of their minds, it's two different worlds, it's two different relationships. There's no reason for them to clash or conflict in any way. These people are able to give love, attention, and affection to their partner when they are with their partner, switch off and turn to their affair partner and give love, attention, and affection here as well. In their minds, they're two different things, and they also have less guilt around the behavior because they see them as two different relationships for different reasons. They have different reasons for the relationship. They behave differently in each of them, and they are giving both relationships enough of what they need. It's often a little bit more difficult to discover this kind of cheater because the partner has no real reason to question their behavior, to question their engagement in their relationship, or question how they show up in the relationship, because there usually isn't that much difference in how they behave. There may be less time that they're spending because they're trying to balance these two relationships, but they'll often have excuses like having to work late or work away or being with friends or whatever excuse that they come up with. Their partner is none the wiser. As far as they know, everything is pretty much the same. Now, the monogamy believer has a lot more of a difficult time with it. They are not able to compartmentalize, and this is because fundamentally they believe in monogamy. They don't believe in having two relationships. They don't believe that affairs are right. They don't believe that what they're doing is okay and serves two different purposes. The other thing to note with a compartmentalizer is that you will find that they behave slightly different in the two relationships, or should I say that the two relationships are light different sides of them. You might find that with their partner, they're quite reliable, they're quite sensible, responsible, timely, all those sorts of things. But then with their affair partner, you might find them to be a little bit more risk-taking, a little bit more daring, a little bit more spontaneous. And you will notice that and this is why when these affairs are disclosed or discovered, the partner might say, hey, how come you was able to do all these sorts of things with them and you went here and you did that? Well, two different sides of their relationships, two different sides of the mind, different compartments. Now let's move on to the monogamy believer. These people have a lot more of a harder time with it because actually they don't believe in affairs. They believe in monogamy, but they believe in one partner, one person. And so this act or this situation that they have created for themselves completely conflicts with their core values and puts them in a really difficult place. They are unable to compartmentalize and only able to give love, affection, and attention to one person at a time, because that's what they deep down believe in. And this new relationship comes on board and overwhelms them and overtakes them. They really struggle to maintain the original true relationship with their partner. And in fact, what they do is completely start to distance themselves. They start to disengage themselves and withdraw themselves from their core relationship with their partner. And this is what makes them a little bit more discoverable, because you will see a difference in how they behave, how they show up in the relationship, their mannerisms, and even their emotional stability. What you may find is that they're a lot more irritable, they're a lot more frustrated, they get angry so quickly. And it's almost like they bring up conflicts and reasons to argue from thin air, start blaming you for things that they were never concerned about before, and really trying to find reasons why they are unhappy in this relationship. This has less to do with the partner and more to do with them, as they are trying to find justifications for why they are doing this thing that they know isn't right and actually is conflicting within them. The monogamy believer is unable to invest equal amount of time, engagement, affection, and love in the two relationships, so will pour it all typically in their affair relationship, to the point that they even feel like they are cheating on their affair partner with their partner if they have sex at home. Right? This is how much they cannot deal with that conflict. Now, what you will find is that at some point the conflict gets too much for them, and they will do a number of things. Now, what you'll find is that the conflict can get too much for the monogamy believer, and they are more likely to get to the point where they are almost subconsciously or consciously trying to get discovered, right? They become a bit more sloppy, they don't hide things as well, and it's almost like, hey, I don't have the courage to disclose this, so I'm just gonna sort of wait until I'm discovered and maybe do things to help the discovery come along. Whereas the compartmentalizer is more likely to continue until it is discovered. Both will have remorse when the discovery or the disclosure happens, but the monogamy person will tend to feel a lot more relieved that it's all out of the open, because it would have been killing them on the inside. The compartmentalizer, now when everything blows up and they are aware of the destruction and the damage that has been caused, will then start to feel a lot of guilt and remorse around that aspect. I'm hoping that this information is going to help you, if you are the betrayer, the cheater, to really figure out who you are, why you are or were behaving the way that you did, so that you can really begin to grow and shift this within you and be aware of it. But also for the person who was being betrayed, the partner, it's going to help you to maybe understand your partner a little bit better, why they behaved in the way that they did and how they were able to. As always, if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and use the comment section, or you can email me directly, admin@marriageforreal.co.uk. And if you want to speak to me about your relationship in your marriage and what the difficulties that you may be having, definitely go ahead and book a free breakthrough call. It's a 30-minute call with me, and we can definitely use that time to navigate you through that and let you know how one of my coaching programs can help you to create an amazing, thriving, beautiful marriage, even after an affair. I'll see you in the next video.